Hey everybody, it's your Uncle Bear. So, I was watching a guy on TikTok today. I can't remember his exact screen name. It's Wolfgang something or other. Pretty interesting young guy. But he had mentioned, he said he was actually thinking about getting out of trucking. And while I don't encourage him to do that, because we're not quitters and what the fuck else are we going to do? Um, but, he was speaking towards basically the time we waste for the money we get. That's what I took from it, and he's not wrong. I remember 30 years ago, if you had a blowout, a flat tire, whatever, if you were able, if you had something mechanical and you needed to get into a repair shop, hell, there was always a repair shop within a half hour wherever you were that was open 24 hours a day. I mean, we could always get it fixed, always. Even if we had to do an after hours thing, which was like I say, you could usually find a shop that was open anyway and get it fixed. Which some of the chain truck stops, they got their 24-hour gigs, but a lot of them close at 9, 10 o'clock at night. And most of your independent shops anymore, it's 8 to 5, and that's sad. But hell, where I live, I mean, if I call one of the local shops, I got a mom and pop place 100 miles away, which kind of works for me because it's on the way to one of my customers. But they're 100 miles away. But I call them and I say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna need to get in on Sunday, and they get me in. Most of the ones where I live, they're closed on weekends, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and you call them up, and oh man, we're like three weeks out. A couple of them 2 months. It's like, yeah, I can't wait that long. I got to get shit fixed, or I got to get my oil changed. I'm not waiting 3 weeks to get my oil changed. I call you when it's ready to get done, and I run it as long as I possibly can because I know it's going to cost me $600-700 to get my fucking oil changed, So I'm PM service, So yeah, I get what he's saying. As far as the parking thing goes, we still got a lot of DOT scales out there that they got huge parking lots in the back, and even when you pull into that scale, when they're open or whatever, and they've got signs all over the place, no overnight parking, and it's like, what the fuck you need that giant fucking parking lot in the back for? I mean, you don't have that many DOT cops working 24 hours that are going to be inspecting in the middle of the night. You can designate at least half that big fucking lot to truck parking. If you want to say, hey, you know what, leave these 5 open or whatever for us, that's fine. I get that. You guys got a job to do. But there's no reason that trucks can't park in part of that parking lot. And God bless the states for, remodeling their rest areas, to make the lots bigger. But they close the whole rest area while they're doing it. You're taking away parking spots while we're waiting for more. And then you give us tickets for parking on on-ramps. Make it make sense, folks. Make it make sense. Good Lord. Yeah, there's a lot of drawbacks in the industry. I get it. We get our, I actually had a broker the other day. It was a load of produce. I'm not going to say who they were, but their name rhymed with Spinbegrity. Anyway, their detention policy was 3 hours free and then $25 an hour. Except, and then we got to reading further on the rate con, except on produce loads, then it's 6 hours free and $25 an hour after that. 6 hours free and then $25 an hour after that. Nope. Say no more. And you're on the do not use list. That's how that goes. I'm not gonna, I won't fuck around doing business with somebody that's actually trying to rape the truck drivers. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. No. That's my advice to all you drivers. From now on, Leander Richmond has said it before, and I'll say it again. The brokers need us. We don't need them. We were here before brokers were. So yeah, just tell them no. Just put them on your do not use list. If all of us stick together and do that, we start making money. We start making money. And W. Bob, as I call him, Morning Coffee with Bob, he said that there's the Surface Transportation Reauthorization Act coming up in September. And I looked it up on, I Googled it, and I didn't see anything in there regarding transparency and all this other stuff, but I didn't read the actual act. So I'm going to go read the actual bill, but if it does contain that stuff where we get a fair shake, then yeah, I'm gonna call my congressmen and senators and say, hey, you know what? Let's get that thing passed. Because we've got way too many trucking companies going under, and we got way too many brokers that have their own stadiums. They build stadiums so they can get a tax break in the city that they're in. So anyway, that's all I got for today, folks. Yeah, it seems bleak, but we can change it. You and me, collectively, can change it. And by the way, if you're not a truck driver, there's nothing stopping you from going and reading that act and calling your representatives and senators also. Everybody's support is welcome. So that's all I got today, kids. Be safe out there, all right? Be kind to each other. And be patient. Be patient. We will turn this around. I guarantee. And you're dating yourself if you know who said that all the time. Talk to you later.